All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect on the highways and hedges, pushing the truth. It's your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. It's edifying. Lord's will, man. Let's post that. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out an article, man. I don't even know where to begin at. It says Chinese President Xi Jinping is in Cambodia for the final leg of his three-nation Southeast Asia tour. Let's see what Xi Jinping's going on. That's Moab, by the way, in the Bible. He's the so-called Chinese man. Okay. Moab's been talked about a lot recently, so you know, it's beautiful to understand these precepts and these breakdowns of the precepts, because then once you understand the script, you can watch it play right in front of you, man. It's poetic what the Lord's doing, man. Understanding the scriptures and then seeing it matching up, and you just see it with your own eyes, man. Showing you this book is alive, all right? Who did Xi Jinping see this week? Okay, Xi Jinping arrives in Cambodia to wrap up three-nation Southeast Asia tour. That's what I was looking at. Where else did he go? Cambodia, King Norodom Sihanouk. Chinese, it's not telling me. I don't know, it's not telling me. But I guess it's the end of his, it says his final leg of his three-nation Southeast Asia tour. His visits have seen him double down on calls to oppose hegemony in power politics. Okay, you look at this word hegemony real quick. I looked it up before, but for edification. Hegemony definition: leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social groups over others. Exactly, he's trying to oppose hegemony, man. Who do you think he's talking about, man? He's talking about the US of A, the good old America, man. So he's going to these different Asian countries to tell them, like, hey, I know he's putting a lot of tariffs on y'all, but hey, stick with me, man. We're going to get through this, man. Don't trust this devil, I got you. Okay? And there's way more people over there. So they need to trust in what Xi Jinping is talking about. They need to believe in what he's saying, man. Because we got all these goods, we gotta sell this stuff, man. But what he's gonna do, he's gonna get them back together, man. All right? We're gonna be up under one banner, the banner of Moab. Well, he ain't gonna get up under the banner of Moab, but hey, stick with me, man. We're gonna get through these tariffs that this devil's sending out. His visits have seen him double down on calls to oppose hegemony in power politics amid an escalating trade war with US. So what Duck is doing, by him doing this, he's really seeing what your foundation's made of, who you really gonna be aligned with. Okay? Beijing has been actively reinforcing its ties with ASEAN. What's ASEAN? Let me look that up. What is ASEAN? Because it's all capitals. It says the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or Asian, is ASEAN. It says was established on 8th of August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the Asian Declaration by the founding fathers of Asian, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. So that's probably where he went. Okay. Going back to their forefathers, their founding fathers. All right. As it faces 145% additional tariff rate on U.S. imports. So he's increasing the tariff imports, man. Duck is fully increasing it, man. But I read another article. Moab said he ain't even gonna increase it anymore, because I was watching one thing. They said once it go over 50%, there's no point of even all this 245, all this bullshit, man. It don't even matter. I'm not making a profit after 50%, so it don't matter if he increases it to 10,000. All right? So we don't want to be working with this devil, man. All right? The Russians learned that the old way when he was starting. We got into this mess years ago when he he basically kicked Russia out of. He did something with the money. I forgot what he did, but he did something funny where he was able to hold Russia's money. I think he has their money's in a Swiss bank or something, but they did some roundabout thing to make it hard for him to get his gold. Okay, his gold reserves. So they dangling this cash over your head, man. That's when they were like, we can't fuck with this double anymore, man. We got to set up the bricks. Okay, so we can't have anybody do that. Okay, we take over our money. Okay, it says as it faces 145% additional tariff rate on U.S. imports. Meanwhile, Phnom Penh was slapped with a 49% import duty. I think that's the Cambodian president. Yep. Oh, Phnom Penh is the capital of Cambodia. It's Phnompenh. Okay. Cambodia's busy capital sits as the junction of the Mekong and Tele Sap rivers. It was a hub for both the Khmer Empire and French colonialists on its Walker-B riverfront lined with parks, restaurants, and bars. I just Googled it. So they were slapped with a 49% import duty, one of the highest rates globally. Before, most levies were paused until July. So yeah, so when you watch that article, man, the president of Cambodia, he went on the tarmac. Soon as Xi Jinping landed, he was at the foot of the steps, man. Couldn't wait to talk to him about these tariffs. So these tariffs are going out, they're hurting. All right, these other countries are having to make a decision. So the Lord's moving things around. He's working, man. Okay? But here it is. He's bringing presidents to their knees to negotiate. What do you think he's going to do with you? The president's good, but he understands I need to do something, or eventually there's going to be an uprising. There's going to be protests. People are going to start tearing up the country. So he has to make these political agreements in order to maintain sovereignty or maintain his power. Okay? Because it's really the people. He's supposed to be representing the people. Okay, but not every president is a true king like your president. Some people are actually representing their people. Wisdom of Solomon. Let's grab that. I think it's Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, GNT. Let's see if I can get that. That's not it. Or is this a rock? No, that's Wisdom of Solomon 6. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and 1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Exactly, the people who rule over your country, they need to be listening to King Solomon, one of the kings who actually was for his people, okay? Who ruled well in the eyes of the Lord up to a point, man, where he started going off with them women. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. Yeah, you glorying in the multitude of the nations, man. Give ear. For power is given you of the Lord. Yeah, the Lord gave you that power, okay? And sovereignty from the highest. Yeah, that comes from the Most High, man. Sovereignty is given to you from the Most High. Let's look at this word, sovereignty. Sometimes people forget about this word, man. Especially Jake, man. They think it's okay to be in captivity. Define sovereignty. It says supreme power or authority. The authority of a state to govern itself or another state. A self-governing state. Exactly, self-governing. Okay? Even though there's different powers that might be stronger and more mightier than you, but at least you have some form of sovereignty within this world where you can still follow your own laws. And that's what's the problem with the nation of Israel. We're not in that state, okay? Just like it says in 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, when they came together, talking about the northern kingdom, they came together and they said, let's go to another land so we can keep our laws. Let's grab that real quick. 2nd Esdras chapter 13 in verse Let's see. I'll start at 40. These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land, just like Judah. Same thing. You were supposedly, you were on the west coast of Africa, different parts of Africa, and then you got brought over here to Babylon or America. Same thing that happened similarly, but they left and they crossed over here, not by their captors though. They decided to come over here on their own. But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. And that's talking about here. But they counseled amongst themselves, man. That's the point. Sort of like what we're doing today on these highways and hedges. We're counseling amongst ourselves, saying, hey, we're the Israelites. We want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and we can't do it here in Babylon. We got to go to a further country. But we know through the prophecies and the understanding of the scriptures that further land is Israel. Okay, we have to go back into our other land, but the Lord has to bring us there. We can't do it by our own might. Okay, it has to be done according to prophecy, just like the Most High said it was going to be done. 2nd Esdras 13:42, that they might keep let me read that again. 2nd Esdras 13:42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Yeah, exactly. They weren't keeping the statutes in the land of Israel, or the northern kingdom wasn't doing that. That's why they got kicked out. That's why they were powerless against the Assyrians, because they were worshiping idols. So the Lord wasn't dealing with them, and he kicked them, removed them from out of that land, and brought them into a land that wasn't theirs, in the captivity under the Assyrians, until he allowed them to come over here to Babylon. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they was passed over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Exactly, man. This is that other land that the northern kingdom found. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6:3. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. And that's what's wrong with you other kingdoms. You're not walking in the counsel of the Most High, so your kingdom got an end coming. Okay, but the nation of Israel, we're going to have a perpetual rulership, because we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments written in our inward parts. So we'll never be able to go off like the heathen, being tempted. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and verse 5. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for sharp judgment shall be to them that be in the high places. And who's in high places right now? You think of the people, you see presidents, that's a high place, man. Being within the government, that's a high place. That's the highest you can be within the state of a people, man. It's within the government. That's the elite. But we know that somebody is in the dark, in the shadows, controlling the government that you see. Okay? And that's Esau, Edom, and the rest of the elites, or the Illuminati as they call it, man. Okay, they're going to be taken out of power. They're manipulating the world to move in the direction of wickedness. But the Lord's going to chop off the head, which is this damn snake, and the rest of the body going to fail by taking out Esau, Edom. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon 6:6. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Yeah, you're going to be mightily tormented, man. Okay? Especially when Yahweh Shah come back and destroy your ass. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he had made the small and great, and careth for all alike. Yeah, he made you, man. He ain't scared of no man. Okay? The Most High is really sovereign, because can't nobody put his laws still apply. Hey, you got to take him down in order for his laws to discontinue. He can't be taken down. Okay, but you rulers can. You rulers that are down here on the earth, y'all can be taken out. It's not up to you whether you live today. Even if you go through all these heart surgeries and all that, that life comes from the Lord. He allows that to happen. you might in your own pride think that it's you that's bringing about your life, but it's not. It's the Lord allowing you to live, to fulfill his purposes down here on the earth, because he ruleth in the kingdom of men. Okay? Let's see if that's it. Wisdom of Solomon 6:8. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. Exactly, you may learn wisdom. And wisdom comes from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. These nations, they don't have any wisdom because they don't fear the Lord. They have their own gods that they trust in for counsel. But the Lord's going to show you that their counsel is going to come to naught when they get taken out of rulership, because they believe in idols. Wisdom of Solomon 6:10. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Okay, so exactly, man. But they don't trust in they trust in their own counsels. Okay. But ultimately, the Lord's gonna use all these different nations to come up against Babylon. Right now, he's working on some of the Asian nations. Okay. As a matter of fact, I was just reading an article about Ammon, man, the Japanese nation, man. Ammon's, where's that at? I don't think I posted, did I? Let me see. Ammon was even talking to Duck yesterday, man. He was like, what am I supposed to do, man? You got all these tariffs on automobiles. You don't see how I got Toyota, Suzuki, Honda, Nissan. Okay? You don't want these cars anymore? I got it right here. It says Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has warned that trade negotiations with the U.S. will not be easy after discussions between Washington and Tokyo yielded no real breakthrough. U.S. President Duck, though, said officials made big progress in talks. It says Japan wants a review of U.S. tariffs, including the 25% on auto imports that are already in effect. A separate 24% duty on Japanese goods has been paused for now. So yeah, so he's trying to negotiate that, man. That's what these tariffs are doing. So Japan's showing you whose side he's on, man. He's not thinking, hey, you know what? Let me just mess with it be in his best interest to mess with Moab, but the Lord got it this way, man, for his purposes. Okay, but eventually all these nations are gonna come up against this place right here, man. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's grab that. Let's grab that. That's why we gotta wait on the Lord, man. Be occupied in prophecy, and that's all we gotta do. It's really a beautiful show. You know, you watch Duck's very entertaining, man. Sometimes I laugh at some of the shit he says, man. Cracks me up. I know the Lord, he's enjoying everything that's going on down here on the earth, man. I know he's very pleased with the way things are playing out. If you lack understanding, man, you could be in a whole world of hurt, not knowing what the Lord's doing down here. Especially if you were so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Americans. We had this in the book of, this is Zechariah, I think. Zechariah. Zephaniah. Salakia. Let me grab it off my phone, man. Just trying to get out this sun, man. Let me see. Zephaniah. This book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Exactly, man. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. So what he's doing is he's gathering these nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Whether he's using these terrorists, he's using all these different things, these uprisings of the people, just to get everybody in line with his will, which is to gather these nations and destroy them, man. He might have these different events that are going to get people roused up to go to war. People going to be signing up just like he did in with the Twin Towers, man. People were ready to go. He might run that back. He might cause an event to get you so-called Americans all roused up so y'all can join in willingly. Duck's already attacking these schools. He just went over to Harvard University. There was an article about Harvard University. Let me grab that, as a matter of fact. He was saying how he gonna stop funding to that place, man, for all the Palestinian protests that they were doing. That's not the only protest that they were against him about, man. They were against him on a bunch of different things, man. Okay, even last time he was in office. Okay, so these different colleges who are always known to protest against the government. You go back to World War II and Vietnam. He probably looking at all this. Like, damn, they always been like used to come up against us, man. Why are we funding them? Okay. Let me grab that, as a matter of fact. It says the U.S. government has threatened to ban Harvard University from enrolling foreign students after the institution said it would not bow to demands from Duck's administration and was hit with a funding freeze. So see, you don't want to bow down to the king? All right, well, I don't even need to attack you, man, because I know the best place to attack you is in your pocket, okay? And a lot of people might think, oh, how noble Harvard is, man, for standing up, against the president, and, how great the students were saying, at least we know that they're backing us up, they have our interest in mind. Your interest in mind? What's your interest, man? To come up against the president? That's what they're teaching you there in that school? Why would I fund that? I wouldn't fund that. The White House has demanded, and who's the governor of Massachusetts? I keep forgetting her. Maura Healey. She was talking about this. Maura Healey, governor of Massachusetts. Her right here. She probably watches our videos. Where the hell you been, man? You got Michelle Wu going through everything, but you ain't doing nothing, man. She in the front line they talking mad shit about her, man. And you just hiding. Where are you at? You don't even hear about Maura Healey like that. People think Michelle Wu's the governor. She might be next up. You probably need to sit down, man. Then they give her a softball to hit with the Harvard University thing, and she talking about anti-Semitism. Oh, the students are all anti-Semitism. All this stuff. Hey, thank you. All this anti-Semitism, man. She get a blessing, man. And what are they doing? First of all, Harvard's like a funnel anyways. Most of the small hats go to that school, man. They got most of the small hats coming to that school, but you can't get in there, okay? Why is that? Because they know who they want in that school, man. And the Lord's about to destroy that place, okay? This is Homeland Security Kristi Noem has asked for records on what she called the illegal and violent activities of its foreign student visa holders. Yes, foreign student visa holders, because that's how they get into these schools, man. They make a lot of money by foreign exchange students coming here. Boston University, Northeastern University. That's why you see a lot of Asian people in those expensive ass places downtown. They coming from all over the country to come to these expensive ass schools to come live in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay? So that's what he's talking about, man. You start attacking these schools, it's gonna put people in an uproar. Wait till I tell you how much money they getting. Okay? It says Harvard early said it had taken many steps to address anti-Semitism, and the demands were an effort to regulate the university's intellectual conditions. Well, the real Israelites are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Where's the anti-Semitism against them? Against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Where's the anti-Semitism rights for them? Okay, that's a made-up word that the small hat uses in order to criminalize whoever is talking about it. Okay? It's made up. He's made up. He's false. He's fake. He's the devil. It says international students make up more than 27% of Harvard's enrollment this year. 27%. That's a lot, man. And it's probably higher than that. I pick up these students all the time. I do Uber. Guess what? Most of them are Asian, man. And they all from China. All of them, man. So their numbers are false. There's plenty of people in Boston, Massachusetts that apply to that school. I mean, the fucking application cost. I applied to Harvard University. It should cost $250. $250. I don't think I applied to Harvard, actually. I would have went there. You know, back when I was in the world, when I thought I needed an education, but I'm glad I didn't. You know, I did get a degree, but not from there. But I wish I didn't even go to school. Because they don't teach you about the Lord, so what's the point? You come out being more wicked than you think. You gotta go work for the so-called white man. You come out thinking, oh, I gotta get can I get an entry-level position? What do you mean, entry-level position? You just working for a higher degree. You should be better than the people who didn't go to school. Nope, I want an entry-level position, please. Foolishness, man. Coming out being a slave. Most of these schools are built on plantations, like the school all the way in Rhode Island. Brown's University, that's supposed to be a prestigious school. How is it prestigious if it was literally a slave plantation? So even at our worst, we were prestigious. He's really talking about us. You're learning off the backs of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, and you don't even acknowledge that. But if you had wisdom, you would know, why would I send my kids to a slave plantation? Just like Harvard University. You look into it, it doesn't say that it was built on a slave plantation, but the owners, the people who donated to build the school, all slave owners. So we don't care about your school. I'm glad it's getting defunded. And he needs to lock up y'all criminals that are in there protesting for these people in the land. And if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, you shouldn't be in none of these protests. You shouldn't be involved with it, man. Because it doesn't apply to you. According to Isaiah, the 1st chapter. These people are in your land. And you don't even care. Shalom, King. You know? They're in your land. They stole your identity. They stole your blessing. But the Lord's going to take him out and give it back to you. But a lot of y'all are going to die, according to Zechariah 13:8. Because y'all are 2/3, man. Okay? You can't repent. You can't come back to the Lord because you're dead. Like, there's no life in you, no water in you. You dried. It's better to burn you up and then you come through the loins of the elect in your right mind. And that's mercy from the Lord. Okay? He's not going to keep you in the fire forever. Like this devil be teaching you, man. So you can come up out of your pocket. This damn fool, man. As a matter of fact, yesterday a Greek dude came up to me talking about all these different Greek gods. The goddess of war. You women don't go to war. What do you think this is, Woman King? Y'all always glorifying the woman, man. We didn't get to this state by the works of women, man. When Israel had a woman ruling over them, that was a sign of how off you going, man, that he raised up a woman. How disobedient. It was a shame unto the nation of Israel that the Lord raised up a woman to rule over you. It's foolishness, man. She wasn't departed any wisdom or understanding. You were out of order. Okay? And now you willingly serve the woman in your head, in your heart. Okay? But the women of old understood their place and they weren't like you women. That's why you walk around with eyelashes up to here. I saw some chick with some fucking big ass eyelashes, man. Looks like a damn fool. Contact lenses. Long hair that ain't hers from India. Big butt that is just fucking disgusting, man. You know, the BBL, whatever the hell that is, man. And don't think that that's a sign or a symptom that you're not in your right mind. And Esau likes that. I was watching this video. This woman was with this black woman. This old white man was with this black woman, and she would look like a doll, like a fake doll. And that's how Esau likes you. Absolutely dead and corrupt on the inside. That turns him on. He's like a necromancer. So when he sees you, you look like a dead piece of meat, man. He likes that shit. Okay? So anyway, let me keep going, man. The spoils backwards, man. It says international students make up more than 27% of Harvard's enrollment this year, even before Noam's statement. Billions of dollars hung in the balance for the university after the freeze of some $2.2 billion in federal funding. So Duck is holding $2.2 billion. $2.2 billion to Harvard University, and they get paid. That's fucking bullshit. What are you doing with all this money? I think he should look more into that. Duck, bring Daffy Duck in there and do a whole department of efficiency, whatever the government efficiency. Yeah, go check their government out. Send some of their Doge representatives into Harvard University. Check out where their money's going. $2.2 billion. How are they spending that money? We want to know. Do a thorough investigation on Harvard University. See how anti-Semitic keep you out of their expenses. You start looking at his expenses, it really starts to expose this devil. He probably spending $100 billion, $100,000 on teddy bears and shit like that. When you look into his shit, man, that's what Esau likes to do, man. Money laundering. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep talking. We grab some precepts. We grab a precept. It's just this damn devil, man. So much to talk about. You gotta expose him, man. Isaiah 1:9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Yeah, we should have been destroyed, man. He didn't leave a remnant. We wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. That's why we glorifying him with all boldness and to the best of our ability. Having that understanding of why you walk every day, why you get to breathe every day, it's all from the Lord. You look at the history of Esau, man. He was ruthless, merciless, slaughtered women, children. Same with Ammon, man. Ammon was a damn devil too. The so-called Japanese man. That's why the Lord bombed his land. He gonna bomb his ass again, man. He gonna bomb him again. What's that? Amos. I was reading about that. Look what this devil did, man. And I'm talking about Ammon, the so-called Japanese man. You know, the sushi man, sushi guy. You go get your sushi. I'm talking about him. I think it's Amos 1, maybe 13. Amos 1, verse 13. This is, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the women with child of Gilead, that they might enlarge their border. So we had war with them, man. They ripped up the women with child, man. And you wonder why they got bombed twice. Lord ain't forget about them, man. Okay? The Lord is a just power, man. He ain't just do that. They were defenseless too. And the Lord burnt them up. Okay? So that's the Lord visiting you through the 3rd and 4th generation. Okay? Lord's not playing with these damn heathen. Amos 1:14. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour the palaces thereof. With shouting in the day of battle, with a tempest in the day of the whirlwind. and their king shall go into captivity, he and his princes together, saith the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Exactly, man. He gonna burn you, man. He gonna kindle a fire. He kindled a fire on Ammon. Okay? It's all prophecy, man. Showing you the Lord, hey, if he says it's gonna happen, man. What did he say in Numbers, what's that? He said, and I'll make it good. I think Numbers 23rd chapter, something like that. He said it, and he said he'll make it good. Okay? Let's see if I can grab it. I'm thinking Numbers, it definitely ain't Numbers 23 and 10. No. He said, shall I not make it good? Was it 13 or something like that? I can't think of it right now. Okay. But that's what I'm saying, man. So the Lord, he gonna hit Ammon again, man. Just like he gonna get Moab too. Jeremiah 49:1, concerning the Ammonites, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, have Israel no sons? Have he no heir? Why then doth their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that were his heirs, saith the Lord. Exactly, man. Rabbah's gonna be burned with fire. Let's look at this word Rabbah in Jeremiah 49, and I'll get back to the article, man. It's fucking right out here. Jeremiah 49 and 2. Let's look at that word Rabbah. Where are you?
Strong's H 7237. Rabbah.
It says the capital city of the Ammonites, located east of the Jordan. Exactly, it means great. Okay. Yeah, man. He's great, man. And he gonna burn it with fire, man. And he caught your ass. Jeremiah 49:3, how, O Heshbon, for Ai is spoiled. Cry ye daughters of Rabbah, gird you with sackcloth, lament, and run to and fro by the hedges. For the king shall go into captivity, and his priests and his princes together. Wherefore glorious thou in the valleys, thy flowing valley, O backsliding daughter, that trusted in her treasures, saying, who shall come unto me? Behold, I will bring a fear upon thee, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, from all those that be about thee, and ye shall be driven out, every man right forth, and none shall gather up him that wandereth. And afterward I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith the Lord. Exactly, man. You going into slavery, okay? Thus saith the Lord. All right? It is what it is, man. The Lord's going to recompense you for what you've done to the children of Israel. And he wasn't finished with you. So that shows you how much the Lord's not dealing with them, man. With these heathens. Now, nation of Israel ain't thinking about Ammon anymore. But the Lord still got a target on his back. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83. In verse 7, it says, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Exactly, man. That's going into your enemies, man. And Ammon's one of them. So we're going to prophesy against his ass too. You know, he's going to get burnt up too. You know, it is what it is, man. I didn't write the book. That's what the Lord wants. That's what the Lord going to get. Whatever he wants, man. And if he wants it to be brought out, hey, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for using me to bring it out. But me bringing out the article about Japan, you know, a lot of us, you know, I drive a Honda. Okay, some people drive these Japanese vehicles, And those tariffs are gonna hurt. Imagine buying a cheap ass car. That's what's good about Honda, Toyota, you know, Subaru, Suzuki, all these different cars, man. Because you know they're made well and their parts are cheaper. You know, so you don't want to buy a cheap car and pay, you know, top of the line for the parts. That's why people buy these vehicles. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go over to Zephaniah. I can never find Zephaniah, man. Where you at? Zephaniah is after Habakkuk. Okay. Zephaniah is after Habakkuk. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 8. I have heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Exactly, man. They magnify, they're talking shit about us, man. Okay? I have heard the reproach. So like, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah. Even the breeding of nettles and salt pits and a perpetual desolation, the residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Yeah, we're going to possess you, heathen. Okay? We're going to possess you, man. Zephaniah 2:10, this shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts. Exactly, you magnified yourself against this, man. And the Lord's going to recompense you for that. We know Moab is proud, but so is Ammon, man. They got the same forefather, Lot. Okay, so Lot, man, where'd they get it from, man? You know? But that's your lot, man. You're proud. Okay? And you go into captivity for trying to magnify your border in the ancient times. Now you're going to be destroyed, man. That's why I believe that Ammon's going to get hit with another nuke, man, in this Third World War. So and then you're going into captivity? Damn. You think Ammon had enough. But once we get the full understanding of what happened, you're going to see why the Lord ain't fucking with Ammon or Moab. Okay? Let's go back to Harvard University. Okay? 2.2 billion, man. Come on, that's crazy. What do they teach you in there? Most of the people that go to Harvard University, a lot of them are homosexuals. I was talking to this woman, it was their graduation day. I think they graduate April, May, somewhere around there. And I was like, you got a man? And she was like, and she was with her mother. I was like, you got a man? She was like, I'm talking to somebody. Hold on, you've been in Harvard University all these years and you ain't even get a man out of there? And she said like a lot of them are gay. So, hey, here it is. You got women coming out of Harvard, man. They need men. Okay? They coming out of there, no man, no, just talking to somebody, man. Looking stupid. And even her mother was like shaking her head. So, yeah, you women are bugged out, man. You know? But soon you're gonna start looking at somebody like us on these highways and hedges, man. As a matter of fact, as I was talking, a homeless lady just came down, dropped 75 cents, man. Hey, may the Lord bless her in her travels. You know? I never had a homeless person give me some money. You know? But that's the spirit, man. That's the spirit, man. She walked by, she saw, and she looked like an Edomite, man. So even she wants to be in captivity, man. She knows it. She ain't living good under Esau. You probably hate Esau too. She shouldn't be living like that, man. When your man's in rulership, you're in power. So it shouldn't be no white woman walking around here poor, begging for bread. But they suffering the curses in Deuteronomy 30:7. She probably all into all types of drugs, man. Okay? This place needs to go. Esau needs to go into captivity. Okay. It says Duck has also threatened to also remove Harvard's valuable tax exemption. Yeah, you move those tax exemptions, you're gonna really start hurting, man. You're gonna really start hurting. Just like the rest of you who got different tax exemptions with this devil, man. Okay, it's gonna be disannulled. Let's go from Isaiah 28. It's gonna be disannulled, man. Fucking with this devil. And all you agents out there in this ministry, bunch of agents, they getting paid, man. You don't notice it because you're such a man pleaser that you don't see it. You don't even see it. Stupid ass. And Apostle Hodges said something about that. I was watching one of his videos. He was like, y'all stupid, man. You don't know they infiltrated every single camp. You can almost guarantee there's one agent in your camp, man. Okay? But a lot of y'all, it don't really matter. Okay? They're gonna come and do what they come to do. Okay? Because a lot of y'all don't really believe. You just a man pleaser, man. Isaiah 28 and 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Exactly, he gonna trodden you down, man. You want to make a covenant with death? Who's death? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. Nah, it ain't Esau, man. Esau ain't death, man. Come on. You just a hateful bird, man. You just out here spewing hate and lies and... Hey, man, we hate the wicked, man. Just like the so-called white man hates black people. Hey, the righteous hate the wicked. We hate what the Lord hates. We ain't looking at his skin color. We hate that spirit that's within a man. The spirit. Hey, we hate it, man. Don't you hate wickedness? The Lord hates wickedness. You should hate it too. But you probably a devil anyways. Okay, you probably a devil. Okay. Grab that. Habakkuk chapter 2. In verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's talking about the so-called white man, Esau Edom, if you didn't know. Okay, he's as deaf and is as hell, and he cannot be satisfied. Who else could that be talking about? Proverbs 27 and 20. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of men are never satisfied. That's talking about Esau. Okay, he's never full, man. He's never satisfied. He want to take until he's destroyed, man. He wants to die, as a matter of fact. He don't like being an Edomite. Proverbs 30 and verse 16. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. Exactly, that's just Esau, man. That's Esau. Just like a fire, man. You can keep throwing shit in there, just keep burning and burning and burning, man. You gotta quench that shit, man. Okay? It'll just keep consuming, just like the grave, just like the fire, just like hell, just come on, like death. That's Esau. He gotta be taken out. Okay? In the barren womb, man. You can get all the rods at once, man. That's Esau. Let's go back to this. Your covenant with death is going to be disannulled. The loss of which could cost Harvard millions of dollars each year. U.S. media reports suggest the Internal Revenue Service has started drawing up plans to enact this. So he's going to do it. How are we going to do it? Duck sat down. How are we going to fuck their money up, man? You got to, what do you suggest? What do you think? What do you think? Just like the Most High. Showing you this is how he thinks this is him, man. This is the cruel king in Isaiah 19:4. He think he's the Most High, man. And they say, you know what? I'm gonna send a lying spirit. That's what he said, man. Okay, but they coming up with these plans. They're gonna stop your funding. Okay, all those grants, all that federal funding. It's not. You got $2.2 billion coming in each year. That's hurt. That's gonna hurt. Okay. I dropped it. Come on, man. Where are you? Salaki, the light. It says Harvard can no longer be considered even a decent place of learning. This is Duck saying this. It should not be considered on any list of the world's great university or colleges. Duck wrote on his Truth Social platform on Wednesday. Exactly, man. It's not one of those great colleges, man. This is coming out of Esau's mouth, man. Your cruel king. He's telling you, man, they say you shouldn't even be considered that. And we agree. I agree with Duck on that. Matter of fact, let's go to 1 Corinthians 1:21. Oh, I start at 20. Matter of fact, I start at 18. Let's start at 18. Okay. 1 Corinthians 1. Points in 21, but I'm going to start at 18. This is, actually, let's start at 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. Yeah, preaching of the cross is foolishness to them that are going to die, man. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. Yeah, it's the power of the Most High. Okay? We would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah if the Lord didn't go on the cross. The water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But to those who are dead, man, what we're doing is vanity to them. 1 Corinthians 1:19, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. Yeah, they're wise. You go to Harvard University, they're going to look at you like you're wise. Wow, wow. Prestigious you are. The Lord said he's going to destroy that wisdom. And he's starting to do that now. And will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. He's going to bring it to nothing, man. They're trying to already enact this. Duck's already trying to get the plans written, sitting down with how we going to do this, man. You got the IRS, man. But you should go get Daffy Duck to go up in there, man. As a matter of fact, the last thing I heard about Daffy Duck, they said that they were telling him about these different what Dabu say? You just sent a text. Not a text. I got him on whatever he be sending. I'll be looking at his updates, man. Dabu, man. He basically said that what did he say, man? It says, I'll just read the post. It says, Donald Duck was furious when he learned Daffy Duck was getting a secret briefing at the Pentagon over war plans with China and personally canceled it. It says, what the F is Daffy Duck doing there? Make sure he doesn't go, Donald Duck said, according to an official who relayed his words to Axios. The president was angry Daffy Duck was getting the briefing, given that the SpaceX founder has billions of dollars of business interests in China. And Donald Duck vowed that Musk, in his role as head of Doge, would not be involved in any areas where he has conflicts of interest. Exactly, man. But he's already been in, you enrolled him into going into the funding. Doesn't he get a lot of federal funding? So it's all bullshit. And the cameraman just happened to be there with it shows Duck pointing at Duck. So come on, man. This is all, it's a stage, it's a play, man. How you doing, brother? I'm doing good. You know, so you know, it's a stage, it's a play, man. So, but if you have the understanding of the script, hey, it's a good show that the Lord got these devils doing in front of us, man. You know, he's rocking y'all to sleep, but we know, we understand what he's doing. It's entertaining. Okay? 1 Corinthians 1 and 20. Where's the wise? Where's the scribe? Where's the disputer of this world? Yeah, they're the disputers of this world. They got the science, you know. Look at this scientific, look at, you know, when you microscopically look at things and things like that. I master in the frog embryos. It's like that lady that got deported, man. I think she was a Harvard University PhD student trying to bring frog embryos from wherever the hell she was from. Foolishness. Okay? The Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world. Yeah, he made it foolish, man. You over here looking up frog embryos to cure colon cancer. Foolishness, man. Don't you know it's the Most High that does all these things? Ultimately, you got to get rid of Esau. You want to cure cancer? Get rid of Esau. You want to cure diabetes and heart disease? Get rid of Esau. Okay? That's the cure. But we need a physician. Well, we call the doctor, and it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he's on his way to cut off this long disease. For rather that in the wisdom of the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Exactly, man. Not by spending all this money to go to Harvard University and not learn about the Lord. It's the foolishness of preaching. And that's what we're doing, to save those that believe. Okay? Let me grab this in Isaiah 33 and 18. So it's good that he's shutting that place down, man. Because the more this starts to happen, the more, hey, the Lord's word is going to get louder and louder. And that lady that came by here, man, hey, man, that's beautiful. But if she ain't an Israelite, you going into slavery, honey. But thank you for 75 cents. I might do my laundry with that. Isaiah 33. In verse 18, thine heart shall meditate terror. Where's the scribe? Where's the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers? That's the precept the Bible gave me, man. I gotta look into that. What is that talking about? Let me get that. I want to get that. I want to see what that means, man. Where's the receiver? Let's see what Isaiah 33:18 meaning. See what it. I'm just gonna Google it, see what it says. It says Isaiah 33 and 18 describes a time after a period of fear and hardship where people will reflect on the past with gratitude, especially regarding the absence of their former oppressors. Where is he? It says the verse implies a future where God's people will recall the terror they endured, but with a sense of triumph and relief, asking, where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Exactly, where is he, man? Where is he? Because he's going to be gone, man. He's going to be out of here. Let me read the next verse. Isaiah 33 and 19, thou shalt not see a fierce people, a people of a deeper speech than thou canst perceive, of a stammering tongue that thou canst not understand. Look upon Zion, the city of our solemn nights. Thine eyes shall see Jerusalem, a quiet habitation, a tabernacle that shall not be taken down. Not one of the stakes thereof shall ever be removed, neither shall any of the cords thereof be broken. So you're never going to be messing with the nation of Israel anymore. You're not going to take down the tent or the house of Israel. Okay? You're not going to be moving the peg leg. Put it wherever you want to, man. That's a wrap. Okay? So he's done. He's almost done. He is almost done. He almost out of here, man. Esau. And he's starting to take y'all down. Hey, the water y'all about Shem y'all shot for that. Okay? He gonna start taking his devils, all his idols. Cause that's like an idol, man. Going to Harvard University, man. Turn you into an idol. In all actuality, it turns you to a homosexual, man. Isaiah 44, but is Maura Healy talking about that? I think she's a carpet muncher too. Isaiah 44 and verse 25. that frustrateth the tokens of the liars and maketh diviners mad. Yeah, he making you diviners mad, man. He's frustrating the tokens of the liars. These signs, man, he's frustrating it. He's making it come to naught. And y'all are mad. You a diviner, man. Harvard University. That turneth wise diviners, Salakia, that turneth wise men backward and maketh their knowledge foolish. Yeah, he making your knowledge foolish, man. Ultimately, by what you produce a bunch of terrorists, man. Protesters. That's what you're teaching people to be like in there. You ain't teaching the nation of Israel who they are according to the Bible, man. Your knowledge is foolish. You coming out protesting, you going to the most expensive school, and then you're gonna still owe that money. And now you're being defunded too. Fools. That confirmeth the word of his servant. Yeah, he confirms the word of the servant. And performeth the counsel of his messengers. Yep, performeth the counsel of his messengers. Yep. That saith to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. So that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do. Then we going back into Israel, man. We raising them up. We getting them prepared for this battle that's coming. You getting them prepared for the sword by making them go out there and protest, misleading the sheep. That saith to the deep, be dry, and will dry up the rivers. That saith to Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure. Even saying to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built, into the temple, thy foundation shall be laid. Exactly, your foundation shall be laid. Okay? Yeah, the foundation is being laid. We laying the foundation. Okay? Coming in the spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 45 and verse 13. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives, not for price, nor reward, saith the Lord of hosts. It's actually talking about Cyrus, which was a heathen, who gave the decree to rebuild Jerusalem. But just like he was a chosen vessel to do so, he's using us to do the same thing. We the chosen, man. Lord will, we are part of that number. But if he got you on these highways and hedges, hey, you looking pretty good, man. You looking pretty good. The Lord got his word in your mouth. Hey, man, you got a better chance of those who ain't doing this work, who don't believe in the truth. We saving those that believe. Make sure I'm done with that article, because I'm going over my time, man. I think there's a little bit more. It says, Harvard is a joke, teaches hate and stupidity, and should no longer receive federal funds. That's talking about Duck, man. Okay? They should no longer receive federal funds, man. Hey, I co-signed that. I co-signed what Duck said, man. The administration's attacks on Harvard are not isolated. The government's anti-Semitism task force has identified at least 60 universities for review. So it's not just Harvard, man. 60 different U.S. universities are under review for creating these protests, having you go off. And it looks like he's already attacking you now because he know he's about to go to war, man. Just like during the Nixon era, Vietnam, he's putting these things in place because he already know what he's about to do. So he's doing it ahead of time so you can't even protest, man. You going into Guantanamo Bay, El Salvador, okay? You're going to be considered an enemy of the state. Just like us, though. Okay? It is what it is, man. But we're going to make our call in an election sure. Okay? We're going to be glorifying the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's why we do this work. We see the times come. We see the signs. Okay? This is for us to know. But at the same time, no matter what we got to go through, it's all for the crowning of. We want to be crowned, man. Okay? Ultimately, he's trying to get us. Okay. All right, I can drop that. It's the book of Isaiah. '29 and 21. Actually, I started 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing and not. Exactly, man. He making a man an offender of a word. Now he's using that against you protesters, okay, Harvard University, things like that, tell you, you know, you're a protester, you're anti-Semitism and all these things, but ultimately he's going to redirect that to those who reproveth in the gate. Who's reproving in the gate? Who's telling this devil he's going into slavery for the things that he committed to the nation of Israel? It ain't y'all. Y'all complaining about things he's doing in the Middle East. Hey, that's prophecy, man. It says the least of the flock shall draw them out. Israel's going to get you Babylonians into war. Okay? It's all prophecy. Okay? So we understand that. So we ain't going to protest against it. That's the Lord's will for that to happen. Why would we protest against that? That's in our best effort. It's in our interest. When prophecies being fulfilled is in our interest, man. So let the Lord work. Let the Lord do his thing. And we're going to clap it up for him, man. Anything he wants done on this earth, hey, I'm all for it, man. If I got to get persecuted, hey, man, that's all right. It's all right. The water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. Yeah, you don't marvel at these things, man. They protesting out front of the schools and shit. Nah, I want to be a part of it. Look what they're doing to them, man. So wrong. No one's backing them up. No one's helping them out. We just read about Ammon. This was happening to the Ammonites. You don't lack the understanding. He was cutting babies out of the wombs of the children so he can expand his border. And he got bombed twice. Y'all should still be crying about them. Where's the tears for Ammonites, man? We don't hear them anymore. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Yeah, there be higher than they. Okay? Your presidents, your the secret Illuminati, there's someone higher than that. And that's the Most High. That's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So he gonna make you an offender of a word, and it's all part of the process. It says during his presidential campaign, Duck pitched a funding crackdown on universities, painting them as hostile to conservatives. Exactly, they hostile to conservatives. But there's nothing more conservative than the Bible. I thought this land was created on Christian principles. When did y'all get off of that? When did the Republicans start talking about the Bible? Even though Donald Duck put his head, supposedly didn't, or what I don't know if he did or not. I didn't watch it, but from what I hear, he didn't. Okay? But y'all anointing him. Now he got a small hat on his head. You're bringing him to Israel. He's putting letters in the Western Wall. Why didn't he go like this, like they all do? Fucking fools, man. Why didn't he do that? He's supposedly converted. Well, if you converted, you should want to take down Esau, Edom. Okay, you read Judas the 5th chapter. Achior got converted. And what happened to him? They sent him over to Jerusalem. Holofernes thought he was going to take him down. He was like, you better. And guess what? He got saved, man. And then he got converted, man. Achior, man. Read about him. Okay? Let me see. That's what y'all hostile to conservatives. And guess what? Y'all are hostile towards us. We're the most conservative. This is the most conservative thing you could be doing, is conserving the name of the Lord, man. They defiled all of that. Now he's claiming to be the Prince of Peace. That's not conservative. That's progressive. So there's no such thing. It is just two wings of the same beast, man. The same dragon, the same bird, Esau. Amalek is the head. Okay? It says, painting them as hostile to conservatives, he and Vice President J.D. Vance have long railed against higher education institutions. That's why he's trying to fund all of that, man. And it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, according to Daniel 4:17. Let's grab that. Daniel chapter 4, and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of, by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. And that's what he did. He set up Esau, this cruel king, just like he said he was going to do in Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Exactly, the Lord of hosts, brother.
Shalom.
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
One moment.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
One moment.
You don't want? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh my
That's you, brother.
There you go. One moment.
It's you, brother. It's you. You good, brother?
We go.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. You're welcome.
One moment. One
Okay,
moment.
that's okay. That's okay. I gotta finish mine.
One moment.
Okay, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my brother. Yeah, the brother came over yesterday, man. He's a good dude, man. He be having demons on, but he sounded like he better today. It's good, man. The lady, I gave him the change that the lady came and dropped off, and I'm happy about that. Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Exactly, he's gonna give them over to the hand of a cruel lord, man, and that's duck. Okay. It says polling by Gallup last year suggested that confidence in higher education had been failing over time among Americans of all political backgrounds, particularly Republicans. Exactly, man, particularly Republicans. Okay? That's why they're trying to get that out, because they really want you to be liberal. They want you to be liberal so they can give you that MOTB, man. You know? Get you as liberal, washed up as liberal as hell, so they can get you ready for that MOTB. They want you to adopt that wicked mindset. This is the book of Proverbs 11:25. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Let me see what that means, man. I just put in liberal, but I wanted the other piece of it. I want to see what Proverbs 11:25 says. See if they're right. It says the proverb emphasizes that generosity and kindness towards others will eventually result in blessings and fulfillment for the giver. It highlights the principle that those who freely give and help others will also be blessed and refreshed in return. Well, that applies to us, man. Okay? Be liberal with this word, man. Giving this word out, we're going to be refreshed. The servants, the prophets. It tells you that in the book of Isaiah, the 65th chapter, that my servants shall eat, but they shall be hungry. Okay? Let's look at this word liberal. What does that word mean? Define liberal. It says willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas, that ain't us, relating to or denoting a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. No, that ain't me. A supporter of policies that are socially progressive and promote social welfare. Nope. A supporter of a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. Nope. Of education, concerned with broadening a person's general knowledge and experience rather than with technical or professional training. Especially of an interpretation of a law, broadly construed or understood, not strictly literal or exact. A supporter of policies that are socially progressive and promote social welfare. Nope. A supporter of a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties. Nope. Liberal means free. Look, it says free man. Suitable for a free man. Suitable for a gentleman. And not tied to a trade, surviving in liberal arts. Generous. Okay? That's another synonym. They might be messing that up. That's probably what it means in the world, but when you look into the etymology of the world, when you liberally give something, man, you're like generous with it, man. In that form. And I think that's what Proverbs 11 and 25 is talking about. Let's get that in the NLT, just in case. It could be going off, man. I just read it. I don't really know what that means. I gotta look more into that. Proverbs 11 and 25 in the NLT, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. So I think I broke it down the way the NLT says, but you don't want to get confused with the word liberal because the definitions ain't matching up with what the precepts say. But I should have went to the blue letter. That's why let's go on the blue letter. But let me grab the precept I wanted. It says, Isaiah 32 and 5, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Yeah, the vile person, Esau, shall no more be called liberal. Okay? So that's talking about Esau. Okay. Let me get this in Proverbs 11:25. I just want to grab this word liberal.
Beracha. Beracha.
Now, barakah means this is a gift. This is a blessing. Okay. It says the liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Exactly, man. And we watering these seeds that we're seeding, and other brothers will plant the seeds and we're watering them by doing this work. Okay. But the liberal person shall no more be called, the vile person shall no more be called liberal. Isaiah 32 and 5. Let me just finish this up. This is in part due to a belief that universities push a political agenda. Yeah, they do push a political agenda. They want you to be softened up for the slaughter, fattened up for the slaughter, I should say. Since taking office, Duck has focused particularly on universities where pro-Palestinian protests have taken place. Some Jewish students have said they felt unsafe and faced harassment on campus. Exactly, man. So they're using all of this to bring forth that offender of a word for those who rebuketh in the gate. Okay, just like Amos 5 and 10. It says they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Yeah, they abhor him, meaning they despise someone who's speaking uprightly, man. Okay. For as much therefore as your treading is upon the poor, and ye take from him burdens of wheat, ye have built houses of hewn stone, but ye shall not dwell in them. Ye have planted pleasant vineyards, but ye shall not drink wine of them. Exactly, man. You ain't gonna drink the wine of it, man. Just like Esau, man. Okay. You're doing all this stuff. You think you're gonna fill your belly, but then a sudden destruction. Amos 5 and 12. For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins, they afflict the just. They take a bribe and they turn aside the poor and the gate from the right, from their right. Exactly, from their right, man. Okay, you're not executing justice down here on the earth, man. All right, you're taking away the rights of the poor, or the just, or the righteous. Okay, that's what the wicked do, man. Okay. It says, since taking office, Duck has, in March, Columbia University agreed to several of the administration's demands after $400 million in federal funding was pulled over accusations. The university failed to fight anti-Semitism, so they keep pushing that word out, man. And it's all to get those who rebuketh in the gate, man. Talking about the men on these highways and hedges. All right? But I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders. Shalom, Abba, Kwam Yasharallah.